Hi everybody! Today's video is going to be kind of a quick one. I've done a lot of full-on reviews lately, but I thought it might be fun just to do a quick eye look as I am experimenting with a new palette. It's from Dose of Colors and it's their limited edition EyesCream palette. And it's so cute. I am all about that kind of a theme, says the pregnant lady. This palette I think has been around for a little chunk of time here because I know I've seen it a lot on my Instagram feed. This is the first purchase I've ever made from Dose of Colors. I believe they kind of got going and got known for certain shades of their liquid lipsticks, and liquid lipsticks are kind of a thing that I don't get necessarily too super excited about in the makeup world. So when this palette came along and I kept seeing look after look on my Instagram feed of gorgeous eye looks using this palette, I thought I'm going to need to try this out. It does cost $50. It is limited edition. I know products from this brand are made in the USA and they are cruelty-free. They're also gluten-free, paraben-free, talc-free, and phthalate-free if you're interested in that. So this is what the palette looks like. It's got all of these pretty shades in here. This would be an example of a palette that excites me. It's got a few like unexpected pops, some really interesting like pastel things happening in here. You cover up some of those and you've got like a very, you know, neutrally, easy to wear anytime type palette. You know, you've got a pretty coppery color up here, some great mattes to work with, there's a gold, but the lighter shades make for a really fun way to switch up the look. So this is only like my second time using this palette. I loved the way these colors swatched, so I thought I would show you that and just give you a bit of a disclaimer that this is more of a tutorial, less of a full-on review. And you probably could tell from the swatch pictures, but your mattes are this matte cream up here called Berries and Cream. You've got Cone and Hot Fudge over here that are matte, Blueberry Swirl, awesome. Love that deep kind of berry matte, and then Lavender Honey just blew me away seeing how strongly that one swatched. The rest have shimmer, some seeming a little more metallic than others. Mint Chip seemed really, really shiny to me. But just putting it out there to you that if you're looking for something maybe a little bit different, a little bit off the beaten path as far as holiday palettes go, I don't know this is necessarily being marketed as a holiday palette, but it so far really is impressing me quality-wise. For the look that I'm going to do, I got this little card when I got the palette and I thought, oh my gosh, I love that look. Basically, it was kind of neutral on top with a pop of that Lavender Honey shade on the lower lash line. And I really might not have thought to do that because a lot of shades that are matte, soft purples, I would think, is that going to even pop enough on the lower lash line? But I think getting a close look at it, you can tell it really holds its own. So I'm just going to walk you through what I did. First off, I applied a primer. I used a Smashbox eye primer, 24-hour photo finish shadow primer, just to see how that would do. It's done okay for me on a couple of occasions. Then all throughout my crease I use this pretty shade called Cone. It's kind of a light rosy brown, and then I built up the outer part of the crease just a little bit more, again with my E25 brush with Blueberry Swirl, so that just deepened the tone a bit. Then I decided to use Berries and Cream as a nice matte highlight under the brow bone, and I also patted that with a flat brush right around my inner corner. And then I decided to make sure that my like all over the lid color, I love the kind of coppery rose gold vibe coming out of this, and so just patted that, packed it on all over the lid. And then I further deepened up that outer corner, kind of keeping along the lines of what I saw in the picture I was following. I used the matte brown called Hot Fudge. Love that there's a deep dark matte brown in this palette, and with my Sonia Kashuk small shadow brush I just patted that on the outer part of the lid up into the outer part of my crease. And before moving on to the lower lash line, I used black liquid liner. This is my Tartist, the double-ended liner. Used the liquid side across my upper lash line, gave it a little bit of a wing, and then I used a nude liner on my lower inner rim. That's the Rimmel Scandalize in Nude. And now that I've played with the shadow a bit, I'm kind of realizing this step may not have been totally necessary, but I had this Aqua XL pencil from Makeup Forever. It's in the shade M92, and I sort of prepped my lower lash line with that, and then I used an angled brush with Lavender Honey to kind of stamp that shade right across my lower lash line, giving it a really pretty, vibrant, unexpected pop, I think. And I used just a little bit of double scoop on the outer part of my lower lash line just to sort of blend that purpley shade in just a bit. Lastly, I decided to pop on some Demi Wispy's false lashes, and my finished look, I love it. You know, it's got that fun little rose gold pop on the lids, and then that lower lash line. I just can't wrap my head around how much that shade surprised me. You know, being a light purple. Purples seem to be a hard shade for a lot of brands to nail anyway, but take it to a pastel place and make it matte and make it not be chalky but actually really rich and pigmented. I love that. And I've said this before, but I think lower lash line, any kind of a purpley pop on the lower lash line really adds some brightness and life to brown eyes. Other things that I'm wearing, I am wearing the Smashbox LA Lights palette. This is one of their holiday things. I used Rich Bronze, then I used True Flush as my blush, and a combo of Highlight Berry and Highlight Gold as my highlights on the cheeks. My lip color, this light pink, is one of the Revlon matte lipsticks in the shade called Pink Pout. So kind of a cool soft pink. I do have a nice balm underneath this, my Almay lip balm that I love so much, and so that's kind of helping this matte shade feel really extra nice and smooth. But I hope just seeing this palette in action gave you a little bit more information on it. You guys know this about me, but I just really think it's fun when you branch out, you try something new. It was an unknown brand to me at the time, and now I'm really pleasantly surprised with how great the quality was. Let me know if you guys have tried this palette, what are some of your favorite shades, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!